ever find yourself listening to a story and you're just like completely hooked? I mean, hanging on every single word.
Yeah. Well, we got some really awesome material this week.
I saw this.
Yeah, a guide called Storytelling, like a Hollywood director. And it really got me thinking, like, what is it about those stories? You know, the way they tell stories in movies that is just so magnetic.
Right.
Like, what are the actual principles that we can all use to make the stories that we tell, you know, whether they're big or small, you know, just grab people?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. Like, what makes a story engaging? What makes it memorable?
It's a great question, and it really comes down to, I think, realizing that how you tell a story is just as important as what the story is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's so cool here is that the techniques that they use in these big budget films to keep millions of people glued to their seats can also be really effective when you're just like, you know, talking to someone in English at the coffee shop.
Exactly.
In your everyday communication. Yeah. So that's what this deep dive is all about today. It's like these Hollywood-inspired secrets, right?
Yeah.
What are those storytelling principles that we can extract that you can start using, like, today?
Yes.
To make any story that you tell in English, whether it's just a casual chat or it's a more formal presentation, just more impactful and memorable.
Totally.
For whoever's listening.
And to give you a roadmap of where we're headed today,
Okay.
we're going to be looking at 3 main things that this guide highlights. So first, we're going to look at this thing called the 3-act structure.
Okay.
Which is like this fundamental framework that underlies a lot of good stories.
Yeah.
Then we're going to dive into specific suspense techniques that are designed to hook your audience.
Love it.
And then finally, we'll look at how certain phrases can actually signal the type of story that you're going to be telling.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
So,
okay, let's dive into that first one, the 3-act structure. Cool. So when we think about Hollywood movies, we often think about like, oh, you know, beginning, middle, and end, right?
Classic.
This guide really frames it around that.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. They call it the setup.
Right.
The conflict and the resolution.
Yeah. So it's helpful to think about it as like the backbone of your story, right?
Yeah.
So Act 1, the setup, is all about painting a picture for your listener, introducing the key players.
Right.
And the guide gives this great little example.
Okay.
It says, last summer, I decided to hike alone in Thailand.
Okay.
And notice how immediately you're transported to a specific time and place.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You know who the main character is.
Totally.
This is really effective to ground your listener.
Yeah, it really pulls you in. You can almost feel like you're there.
Exactly.
Okay, so that naturally takes us to Act 2.
Right.
The conflict.
Yes, this is where things get interesting.
Dun dun dun.
Exactly. This is where the challenges and the obstacles arise and where the tension really starts to build for the listener.
Okay.
So the example that the guide gives here is, suddenly I realized I lost the trail.
Oh.
My phone had no signal.
Oh, no.
Right away.
Yeah, instant tension.
You've got that tension building.
Yes.
And what's really effective here is that it's engaging the senses as well. So it's giving details like humid air, rustling leaves.
Yes.
And these small additions allow you, the listener, to really connect with the narrator's experience on like a deeper level.
Yeah.
It moves beyond just stating the problem to actually making you feel a part of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're not just hearing that someone was lost. You're like, I can feel that humidity and hear those leaves.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we move into Act 3, the resolution.
Yeah.
So this is where the story kind of finds its conclusion.
Okay.
And often there's like a sense of learning or a key takeaway for the storyteller.
Yeah, for sure. And the guide concludes the example story with this.
Okay.
After 2 hours, I found a village.
Oh.
Those kids who helped me, we still email.
Wow.
And then comes the clear lesson.
Okay.
Now, I always bring a map.
Oh, I love it.
So this not only provides a satisfying end to the immediate problem, but it also gives you a clear point.
Okay.
Like, why is this story being told?
Right, yeah.
What's the meaning behind it?
Yeah, and that meaning, that lesson, or that moral can be so powerful.
Yes.
The listener, it's often what makes a story truly resonate and like stay with you long after you've heard it.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the events, it's about the meaning behind them.
Yes.
So even when you're telling just a quick story about your day, thinking about that 3-act structure, setting the scene, introducing a challenge, and then resolving it with some sort of takeaway can make it so much more impactful for whoever you're speaking with.
Absolutely. It creates that natural flow. That helps your listener follow along
Yeah.
easily
Yeah.
and grasp the significance of what you're telling them.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so
Yeah.
now let's explore some ways that we can inject some,
Yeah, a little movie magic,
a little movie magic.
as this guide calls it,
I love that.
into our storytelling with these suspense techniques.
Oh, I love this part.
Oh, this is where it gets good.
So good.
It's like all those clever little tricks that Hollywood directors use to keep us on the edge of our seats.
Right.
So the first one, and it's surprisingly simple, but incredibly effective,
Okay.
is the pause.
The pause.
The pause.
Yeah.
So the example that they give here is I open the door
Dot,
and
dot, dot, dot.
pause.
Pause it.
Saw 10 puppies,
Oh my God.
right? So that hesitation, that little pause, it's building anticipation,
It is.
and it makes the listener actively wait
Yes.
to hear what's next.
It's so powerful.
It's such a good way to draw somebody in.
Totally.
It's so basic, but it really works.
You can almost see yourself like leaning forward in your chair. Like,
Yeah.
what is on the other side of that door?
I know what's going to happen.
So how could someone listening
Yeah.
incorporate that into their own stories?
So think about those moments in your own narratives
Mm-hmm.
where there's a sense of anticipation or surprise or reveal.
Right.
And instead of just rushing through it,
Okay.
try incorporating that slight pause.
Okay.
It gives your listener a moment to wonder,
Right.
to build their own expectations.
Yeah.
And then what you say next is often so much more impactful.
I love that. Okay. What's the next trick in our
Okay.
storytelling toolkit?
Okay, so the second technique that this guide highlights
Okay.
is using the phrase, "little did I know."
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, so good.
I love this one.
It's a classic. And they give the example, "Little did I know that taxi driver would become my business partner."
Oh, that's so classic.
So good, right?
It immediately signals to the listener that like something unexpected is coming.
Yes. It's like a little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
To give you a little clue.
Yeah, it adds a layer of intrigue because you know that something is going to happen that the past version of the storyteller was not aware of.
Yeah, exactly. It's dramatic irony.
Oh, yeah.
It's when the audience is aware of something that the character isn't.
Yeah,
And that creates anticipation and keeps you invested in how the situation unfolds.
right.
Adds depth to even like a simple story.
I love that. Okay, so what's the next one?
Okay, so technique number 3
Okay,
is dialogue playback,
okay,
which is just directly quoting what was said.
right.
So the example is,
Okay,
he said, "Trust me," but I said, "No way."
okay. So that immediately makes it more like you're there.
It does.
Right.
It's not just a summary of a conversation.
Yeah,
You're getting a glimpse of what was actually said.
right.
It brings the interaction to life.
Mhm.
It allows the listener to connect with the emotions and the personalities of the people involved.
Totally.
It's way more engaging than just saying, "Oh, we had a disagreement."
Totally. Yeah, it adds that layer of realism and it makes it feel more present.
It does.
Like okay, what's the final one?
Okay, the final suspense trick is time pressure.
Time pressure?
Yes, and the example they give is,
Oh, right.
I had just 30 seconds to decide, jump or stay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It raises the stakes.
Through the roof.
Right.
You can feel that sense of urgency.
Yeah, you can. And even though, the storyteller survived to tell the tale,
Right.
it's like that ticking clock just really grabs your attention.
Yeah,
Makes you so invested in the outcome.
exactly. Introducing a limited time frame
Yeah.
or a sense of urgency
Right.
immediately heightens tension,
Total.
makes the listener more invested in what happens next.
Yeah,
Forces a decision, and it creates drama.
I love it.
It's so good.
These are all like so useful and surprisingly straightforward ways to add like that little extra something to your storytelling.
It's so cool.
It makes you think about like, oh, how can I just sprinkle these moments in
Yeah.
to my everyday conversations or even presentations, right?
Totally.
It's about creating those moments that stick
Yes.
with your audience.
Exactly.
Okay, so the guide also touches on another cool aspect of storytelling,
Okay.
and it's the use of genre-specific phrases.
Yes.
So this is about setting expectations for your listener
Yes.
right from the get-go.
Right from the beginning.
Right, like a little heads up about what kind of story is coming.
Totally. And these phrases are like signposts for your listener
Okay.
that prepare them for the tone and the type of story that's coming.
Okay.
So for telling funny stories,
Okay.
the guide suggests starting with,
Yeah.
"You won't believe what happened next."
Oh, yeah, that's such a classic.
It's a classic setup
Yeah.
for something hilarious or just unbelievable.
Yeah. You're in for a wild ride when you hear that.
Totally.
Okay. And then for telling scary stories,
Yeah.
what do they suggest?
The example is a chill ran down my spine.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
that's so good.
Right away.
It sets the mood.
Total mood setting.
You're like, okay, I might be in for something a little spooky here.
Exactly. And you as a listener are ready for that.
Yeah, I can feel that chill just hearing you say it.
I know, right?
Okay, so what about for something more like professional? Like a story you might tell in a job interview.
Totally. So for those stories, the guide suggests starting with,
Okay.
this experience taught me 3 key lessons.
Okay,
Right.
so smart.
So this signals to the interviewer that you're about to share a structured
Yeah,
and insightful story
right.
with a clear takeaway.
And that's often exactly what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, it helps the listener so quickly understand the purpose
Yes.
and the tone
I can tell.
of your story.
Yeah.
So like if you're sharing a funny anecdote, you want them to be ready to laugh.
Right.
If it's serious, you want them to be ready for that shift.
It's all about managing expectations
Yeah,
and getting your listener into the right frame of mind
totally.
to receive your story.
This has been so insightful.
It's cool, right?
I love it. I love seeing how much thought goes into crafting
Yeah.
like a compelling story.
Yeah.
Whether it's a huge Hollywood production
Yeah.
or just a quick story that you're telling a friend.
It's all about the structure and the technique.
Yeah, it really boils down to that.
It does.
Understanding those structures, those techniques.
Yeah.
So now that you've heard all of these amazing tips and tricks,
Yeah.
think about a story that you've been wanting to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one that you've told a bunch of times
Huh.
or one that you're just kind of formulating in your mind.
Really.
And think about like, okay, what's one little thing that I can do to make it more captivating?
Yeah. How can you make it more engaging for your listener?
Could you use the 3-act structure?
Yeah.
Could you add in a pause?
Yeah.
Could you use a genre-specific phrase
Yeah.
to kick it off?
That would be amazing.
Right.
So cool.
Take these ideas and make them your own.
Yes. And remember, the world of communication is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
There are always more ways to connect with others
Yeah.
and share our experiences effectively.
Yeah.
So keep thinking critically about how you tell your stories.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you'll keep discovering new and engaging ways to resonate with the people around you.
I love that.
So cool.
I love it.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.
Yeah, this is fun.
It was great.
So interesting.
I'm so glad we got to unpack all this.
Me too.